our first AwkTalk, the couch conversations where we dissect all things taboo to make them less awkward for you.
Emily, did you just come up with that?
I'm not even going to pretend like I just made that up. We did sit down and try and come up with a slogan for about
What did
half
you think
an hour.
of it?
Did you like it?
Do you want to hear it again?
All things taboo to make it less awkward for you.
You forgot the couch
We sit down
conversation.
and dissect all What is this?
We've been over this!
I feel like I should be cut. You do this part. Hey guys!
The couch conversations where we talk all things taboo to make them less awkward for you.
Oh.
I literally just wanted to hurt myself.
Yeah, that
like,
was really cringy.
Yeah, we're just gonna... Alright, so today for our very first AwkTalk, we are going to be talking about PAP smears.
Gross.
Smearing
Don't.
pappy cervixes with little instruments.
That's disgusting.
Yes. Actually, before we start, we just want to be perfectly clear in saying that
That's a good point.
we... Thanks, Em. Should I tell them or are you just gonna...
Listen up.
Em and I are not professionals on pap smears or vaginas.
Probably anything, to be honest.
cervixes. Yeah, not a lot. We're not that bright. We're not medical professionals, so if you have any really pressing questions,
We're not
go to a
people that
doctor.
can
Like, if you have anything you're concerned about, get off YouTube and go see a doctor. So one of the reasons that we really wanted to talk about pap smears
is because there is nothing on YouTube or the internet that gives you like a clear and appropriate understanding of what the hell
so there's
goes
a
on.
lot of like medical explanations, which is good, but there's no like, here's what's gonna happen.
In our research,
we did find, we came across
we stumbled
the
across
most
a goodie.
traumatizing video I've ever seen of a middle-aged woman with fairy wings and a wand and a tiara, who was the fairy godmother, getting a pap smear from Dr. Feelgood.
Hi, Fairy.
Hello.
I'm Dr. Feelgood. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Dr. Feelgood. I know. Should we get right into it?
Let's do it.
Should we just climb right in?
Let's get into
and
that.
swab the
pappy.
cervix?
Yuck.
Okay, what is a pap smear? So a pap smear is the collection of a sample of cells from your cervix, of which that sample is then sent to a pathology lab and tested for abnormal cells, which can lead to cervical cancer. Pap smears are no longer really a thing.
I have heard this.
Yes, so I actually went to go and get a pap smear in December of 2017. I was 20 years old, so I was a little bit late to the game.
What they did recommend was if you were over 18 or sexually active that you should get a pap smear. And this was policy up until 2017.
2017 in December, which is when I went to go and get my very first pap smear. I'm saying it like it's my very first pap smear. Like I should get a photo and put it in a scrapbook or something.
I just have my first pap smear.
My big scary old lady doctor was like, "You're too young," and she refused me a pap smear. I couldn't disagree with my doctor, so I was like, okay. And then I left kind of feeling like a little bit nervous, like, should I get a second opinion or...
I remember going with you for your first, well, what we thought was going to be our first pap smear,
Yes.
but then you got rejected. And when you came in the car, we were like really confused as to why they wouldn't do it because...
Yeah, nothing was explained to us. But apparently, after a little bit Googling, we discovered that what we now get are cervical screenings. So, what is a cervical screening? A cervical screening is essentially the exact same process of a pap smear, the only difference being what is done with the sample of your cells from your cervix. So the sample for a cervical screening is sent away to a pathology lab and searched for HPV, because HPV is actually present in 99.7% of cervical cancer cases. Two types.
Is that a frog?
There's a frog in a pipe.
Excuse me, we're trying to have a discussion about pap smears here.
He's like, you gotta shut the fuck up, that's disgusting.
Thank you.
Thanks, mate. HPV 16 and HPV 18 are actually the two types of HPV that cause that cervical cancer. So, if you are shown to not have HPV in your sample, then that's pretty much that. And even if you do, most of the time, your body will fight off the virus in 1 to 2 years.
So it is a really beneficial move that they've done.
Yeah, because with pap smears, it's so common in all women, young or old, to have atypical or abnormal cells in their sample. And so it's terrifying to like hear that you have abnormal cells and have to go through these further invasive and unnecessary tests to just be told everything's fine.
Which is something that actually happened to me
Yeah.
after I had my first pap smear. So when I had mine, my results showed an abnormal cell on my cervix. So basically what that meant was my gynae said the best option would be to have a small procedure called a hysterectomy.
Hysteroscopy. I think.
Yeah, so hysterectomy is when you get your uterus removed.
Her uterus is still inside her body.
That's still there. No, I had a hysterectomy. Wait, what is it called again?
Hysteroscopy.
That one. But basically all that meant was that they were going to put a little camera into me up there to basically just have a look and see if the cell was anything serious, if it was anything that we should be concerned about. And turns out the result was completely fine, and it did just happen to be a benign atypical cell that wasn't causing any drama.
Because that was pretty traumatizing.
And it was a really traumatizing experience. I remember getting in the car after I got my results back and said that you're probably going to have this procedure.
Operation.
Yeah, I remember calling mum and like bawling my eyes out, thinking like, oh my god, what does this mean? So what is the difference between a cervical screening and a pap smear?
The procedure of the actual, like the collection of the sample is the exact same process.
Yeah, so it's still really fucked up.
Yeah. Don't think that just because they've changed the name, like it's less
invasive,
soul-sucking, because it's not. The procedure is entirely the same. The only difference is the pap smear test for abnormal or atypical cells, and cervical screening tests for
HPV.
Human papillomavirus.
What is the actual procedure of a cervical screening / pap smear?
Okay, so
Should we give them a demo?
yeah, open up.
Alright. Well, I mean, you probably got a bit of an idea watching Old Mate Fairy Godmother and Dr. Feelgood. So basically what happened in my situation was I walked into my gynae's office, she gave me a quick little rundown. First step was I had to obviously take my pants and my underwear off.
Yeah, don't forget those.
So you go behind the curtain, take your knickknacks off, and you have to put your feet on like these cushiony pads. Looks like this. This is how you're sitting. It's so...
I'm a cushion pad.
Yeah. It's really nice. Then Dr. Feelgood Gynae comes in and get this big, really traumatizing instrument.
Yes, so what this is called a speculum, and this is actually an instrument that they use to open your vagina so that they can get in and get a sample from your cervix, which is at the end of your vagina. So this is what a speculum looks like. What it does is it's like a metal or plastic instrument that has rounded edges, and
This is the vagina. This is the
they
speculum.
slide it in like this, right? And then there's like a handle right here that the doctor or gyno will push together. And when they push together that little handle at the bottom, these two little mouthpieces go whoop and open you up. About 2 centimeters most of the time.
That's so gross.
Once that is in,
They get the what looks like a bit of a fossil little spatula thing.
yes, so I think these instruments can vary a little, because Em says she got this
Like a silver
medieval like
Torture device.
device with like a fossil little nook at the end.
Scraping for like
But
bones.
when I researched, it looked like a friendly little plasticky like brush.
Yeah,
Like
so-
a little caress of your cervix. This is the fossil brush. Here he goes. Inside. Scrape. Thanks, Em. And then they take out their little sample, put it straight into a sterile little tube,
Test tube.
send her off to the pathology lab and go, "Are they got HPV or what?" Nah, she's right. Alright, cool, let her know, thanks.
That's it.
You're done.
So hopefully our little demonstration allowed you to gain some knowledge on what the procedure is.
I reckon it was pretty good.
It's pretty good.
I understand.
Quite scientific.
So now that you've seen that, and now that you kind of understand the process a little bit more, we wanted to share this article that we found on Self by Jessica Wakeman. It's called OBGYNs share 11 ways to make a pap smear easier on you and your vagina. Which I think is really sweet
It's
of them
really
to
sweet.
be considering my vagina.
Yeah.
Make sure you know and understand what a pap smear is and what it entails.
Good tip, because I had no idea. And
After you've watched, if you've watched this video up to here,
you're going to have tips.
check.
Know
You're
exactly what's
practically
going
an
on.
expert.
Yeah.
Try to pee before your pap smear. This is one that I really didn't even think
me
about.
neither. But it makes sense because like you don't want to have any more added stress or constriction, I guess.
Yeah, exactly, because if you are really busting to pee and something's going inside you and you're like trying to relax,
Yeah, you're like holding
you
on
don't want to
everything.
relax so much that you pee on your gynae.
That would be awkward.
But also you have to be careful with this one because sometimes some doctors, I read something about they might need a urine sample.
Yeah, true.
So you don't want to empty your bladder right before it and then have them afterwards be like, oh yeah, and just pee in this cup.
You're like,
and you're
yeah, it's
running on
empty.
empty. So what they suggested is to ask the nurse or whoever is taking you to the exam room to get the pap smear or cervical screening and just say, I do have to go to the bathroom, can I empty the tank now?
Request the smallest, narrowest speculum for your body.
Yes, so I feel like this one almost might be a given for the gyno. Like
Yeah.
I don't know why they would
Surely
want
they
to
don't
torture
put
you
a
further.
big ass fossil fuel in there.
Fossil fuel. I feel like by asking this question, you're kind of letting your nurse or gyno know that you're a little bit nervous, and then they might be like, yeah, we're going to give her like the tiniest one.
Yeah, good point.
Because she's going to be toit.
Ask your OBGYN to warm up the speculum.
So they can apparently run it under some hot water or put like some steam on it so that it's not such a shock
That'd be
when
nice.
it intrudes your personal area. Share anything about your medical history, sexual history, or identity that is relevant to your sexual or reproductive health. So this could include something like you have never had anything inside your vagina before, so it's gonna be toy. So small and I'm really scared. This also includes things like you experience any sort of pain when something enters your vagina, which can also be a sign of vaginismus. Also, if you have had any sort of history of sexual trauma, it can be good to let your OBGYN or whoever it is about that so they know you're nervous and they can be a little bit more verbal with what they're doing just to make sure that you're okay with everything that's happening.
Yeah.
Number 10, relax your body with breathing exercises. Relax your body with breathing. Wow.
Number 10.
Number 10, relax your body with breathing exercises or music.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So the doctor that they were interviewing said that some patients come in and they put headphones in and
That's
just
such a smart
can
idea.
ignore her.
Talk to your OBGYN during the exam. Probably another given, but something that I didn't do. I was very anxious and just like trying to hurry the process up that I was literally closing my eyes, tensing everything, and my gynae was like trying to have a conversation with me and I was like, don't do it! So I guess that sort of wraps up our first AwkTalk, doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess it does.
Yeah! Thanks so much for joining in and watching it. If you have any embarrassing or awkward cervical screening or pap smear stories, we'd love to hear them because we have some pretty funny ones we'd like to share as well.
Yes, so if you're feeling up to it, comment your funny pap smear story
Please let us know.
and we'll put you on blast. Also, we really hope you actually learned something.
Yeah.
Not just from the fairy godmother and Dr. Please Me or Feel Good or something, but also from us.
Yeah. That's the whole
Yeah.
purpose. We'll have more AwkTalks coming again very soon. Again, if you have any ideas on what you want us
Yes.
to talk about, if you have any awkward topics, let us know and we'll get to it. So thanks guys. We'll see you very soon.
See you later.
Hello.
Hello everyone. We just felt it was necessary to pop in and just apologise for the squawking birds and
The loud noises from the dog, the frog. We had a few
Yeah.
wild animals in there.
we are not quite lucky enough yet to fund a sound studio. So you're just gonna have to enjoy like the wildness of our videos.
Exactly.
It's like you're at the zoo.
Yeah.
There we go again.